And here we go. Okay, so thank you everyone for hopping on our call tonight. We are so excited to be here and able to speak to you guys and just kind of share a little bit more about us and the nitty-gritty into what we do and legit the realness into what we do. When you do hop on, feel free to mute yourself. I do have, so everyone is muted, but do that. And then also, if you are catching the recording, thank you so much for taking time out to do that. And let's get into it, okay? So real quick, we're just going to go through our stories so you kind of hear a quick little blip about us. Nothing too serious, nothing too intense. You're not getting our novel, okay? You're getting the Cliff Notes version. But real quick, as you saw on, you may have seen, you may have not seen, but we have a little blip for everybody. We're all from across the U.S. So we've got Dara who lives in Arizona. She loves to travel. So Dara, go ahead, give us a quick little background into your life. Oh, let me unmute you. Off we go.
Okay. Thanks, Katie. Yes, I live in Arizona. I am married to my husband, Ryan. We actually met, I've known him half my life, which is crazy. I met when I was 21. So that tells you how old I am. And we have two kids, very energetic kids, a 7-year-old and a 2-year-old. And this is what I do full time now, but it didn't start that way. If you saw the little graphic that Katie referenced, I was a full-time research manager. I managed a team and we did research at the University of Arizona. And that's what I had gone to school for. That is what I thought I was going to be doing for the rest of my life. That was my plan. That was it. And somewhere though along the way, it wasn't right. It wasn't right for our family because ultimately when I became a mom, I was employee first and I was mom second. I gave most of my day to my work and to the team that I was leading and to the work that I was doing. And then I had very little time after that 5 o'clock, quitting time, the rush hour, the come home, make dinner, bath, and bed, and that little short time that I got to spend with my daughter. And I repeated that every single day, living for the 2-day weekend. And my husband was working swing shifts, so we had 4 days, an entire month together. And so really that put just a lot of strain on our marriage. I mean, we barely saw each other. We were struggling financially. That's why he worked the swing shifts. We needed the extra money. And that coupled with not being able to see each other, there was a lot of strain on our marriage. And about that time on social media, I reconnected with my college roomie. She told me about coaching. And I had all of the excuses in the book, all of the misconceptions and fears, right? Probably that you've had that we're going to dive into. And when I ran out of excuses, I eventually signed up. And it was a call like this. It was actually many calls that I listened to where I saw myself in the stories of the women that were on the computer, that I saw women like me that were trying to do everything by the book, working for someone else, feeling like they didn't have enough time for the people that they love or doing things that they love. Maybe they were stressed financially like we were. That I realized if they could do it, I could do it too. And so I took the leap of faith, and here we are 8 years later. Both my husband and I have been able to quit our full-time jobs. This is what we do full-time. We get to be mom and dad full-time, raising our babies, get to be there for the school volunteers. We get to be there when the nurse calls, for everything in between. And I think that's why I'm so passionate about these calls, is showing that there is another way, that there is a better way if it's something that you're looking for, that if you feel like you're not living the life that you want or you're not able to do the things that you want, there is a better way out there. So I don't know, Katie, do you want me to just I don't know how you want to go from here.
Perfect. So basically, if you guys are listening, Dara just changed the trajectory of her life with this opportunity, right? Which is huge. So we heard from our Southern girl down in Arizona. So now let's kick it out to the East Coast, and that is going to be Whitney. So if you're a lover of Starbucks, you're going to connect with Whitney. She's already had her coffee, so she's ready to go.
Yeah, of course. Woohoo. Awesome. Well, I've been a coach. It'll be 3 years, April 1st. It's like an April Fool's joke that I signed up as a coach because I was not an athlete. And it's pretty hilarious. This is what I do for a living now. I have 4 little girls. They're all under 8 years old. So the reason I started coaching is I have a master's degree in counseling. I've always had a love for people. I've always been that natural cheerleader. And after having my 3rd daughter, I had 3 kids, all under 3.5. So you can just imagine what my life looked like and felt like. And I got to the point where I was just really overwhelmed and I was tired all the time. And I started to just like feel angry all the time and my body was achy. And I had a lot of just healthy people in my life, and they were just modeling a healthy life. And they weren't Beachbody coaches, but they just encouraged me, like, why don't you try exercise? And so we had T25 DVDs, and I secretly didn't tell anyone because I was so embarrassed that I was like struggling. And I woke up really early in the morning. I did that 25-minute workout and I read, and that's how I would start my day. And this is after me trying to go to a gym first, and my baby cried the whole time, so I'd get paged out. So like literally like all these issues were just like, it was fail after fail. And after like 3 weeks of T25, I was just like, oh my goodness, I finally dropped the baby weight I'd been trying to do at the gym that never worked. And I was like, and I started to learn, So I decided to jump into a challenge group, did 3 weeks, and I was sold. But here's the thing, over the course of a couple months, I had been sharing my story a lot on Facebook. Now, it wasn't the vulnerable part of my story. It was the funny moments of what you can imagine my life looked like with a newborn, a like 18, 19-month-old, and a 3-year-old, right? It was just like funny things. And I was just trying to be an encouragement to moms. And I started to just find my voice. And around that time when I was also like learning to get healthy and learning how that changed my life, I then really got passionate about using that voice that I was kind of building and kind of that influencer type role that I was starting to have. And I was like, how can I do this? Like everyone's like, you should start a blog. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm a writer. And then as I watched people on Facebook start to share their own health and fitness journey, and then I started to fall in love with Beachbody products, I was like, oh my goodness, this could be my platform. So it's really interesting. I say like, I'm not an athlete. I was never like super into fitness. Like you wouldn't think I would be someone that naturally would jump into being a coach. But what it was for me was a chance for me to use my gifts. Like we said, I felt like I was a natural cheerleader, and I felt like I had something I wanted to share with the world. And every day that looked a little different, and no, it wasn't like genius. But I just felt like I was ready to start encouraging other moms who probably felt the same way I did. And so I signed up because I thought this was a really great platform. And I listened to a call like this, and I remember sitting on the couch with my husband and me being like, this is crazy. Why am I thinking about doing this? And he was just like, there's no risk. If anything, you're going to get healthy and our family's going to get healthy. And as soon as he said that, I was like, all right, let's go for it. I was working part-time, and I knew that job was going to be phasing out. Like in an office, they were going to be downsizing, and my job was like contract employee. And so I was like, well, let me just see over the next 3 months what this does. And sure enough, in those 3 to 4 months, I was able to be like, see ya, don't renew my contract. This is the new love of my life. So that's me.
That's amazing. All right, so now we're going to kick it to my other Midwestern girl. So Mandy, our lover of margaritas, who's going to give you all the best places for the margs and the guac. She's got it. So Mandy, let's hear it.
Yay! I am so excited to share with you guys today. This opportunity has crazy changed my life, like a total 180. I am someone who I told my coach no for several reasons, and I'm surprised I even took the challenge to begin with, because I'm a girl who got notes out of gym class. I've been overweight 60 pounds at least 4, possibly 5 times. I tried not to count anymore. I am someone who does not play sports. My parents owned Dairy Queens growing up, so I'm an ice cream aholic. And to make it even worse, you might see my cheeks turning red because I'm shy as can be. Before this, I never posted on Facebook unless it was an adorable picture of my twins, who are 8 years old. And we're actually around okay, so they're 8, so minus 5. So they were 3 when I started this. So I had two terrible 3-year-olds running around my house. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I was so in mom zone. I needed something else. I used to be a manager of a restaurant. I'm used to being in charge. I'm used to running the world. And running to 3-year-olds I needed something else. So this opportunity came in around that time. I actually had lost the 80 pounds from my pregnancy. Maybe not the best way, and it was coming back on. And I was so stinking frustrated that I went to my husband and I was like, I can't do it again. Broke down in tears. I was like, I cannot have this happen to me again. I cannot go back up and weight. Like, I contemplated surgery, all these things. And my friend put on a post that she was starting a challenge, and I ran up to my husband and I was like, she only has a few spots left. Please let me do this. And he's like, absolutely, do what you need to do, because he knew I was so upset, and I have an amazing husband. So I went through Christmas time and lost 15 inches and 8 pounds, which usually is a time I gain 20. And I couldn't stop smiling, and I couldn't stop being ecstatic about this. And my coach kept telling me, like, you need to coach. And I was like, no way. I am shy. I am overweight most of my life. All of my friends know that. I didn't even know what a burpee was before we started the program. Didn't even know. Had no idea. And I was like, people really do this? I had no idea. And then so I was like, no one will ever join me on this. And she was like, listen, people want to be on a journey with you. Women want community, and they want to hold hands, and they want to complain about burpees together. And that's what we did. Is I actually watched her for a while, and I saw that my friends were joining her and other people were joining her. And this was something I woke up so excited and happy, and it brought me joy. I needed something else. And what my mother-in-law terms lipstick money is that I was used to having a really good income, and to now have to ask my husband for money now that I needed new clothes because I looked really good, and that I needed, I was going to have to go back to work when the kids went to kindergarten. Step in Dara was actually quitting her job at the same time that I was worried about going and getting my teacher's license renewed and figuring out my path when the twins went to kindergarten. And I was waking up in the middle of the night in tears about my husband doing Reese's, my daughter's hair for school, and you know it was not going to be right. You know that he would not pack that lunch the way that I would pack it, and their clothes would not match. These were the fears that I had, and they're real fears, guys. And that I would not be the one to get them off the bus for their first day at kindergarten. Like, that breaks my heart. And I was not going to let that happen. So I messaged Dara. I said, for real? You for real are quitting your job over this? And she's like, yeah, why? I'm like, because I love this. I love it so much. I love that women come to me and say, girl, you're inspiring me. What can we do? And I love that women come to me and say, girl, because of you, I pushed play today, and I ate a salad, and I'm running with my kids. And the joy that brought me to have other people, besides wiping butts for my 3-year-olds at home, for other people to count on me and to bring home a paycheck and lipstick money, turned into more than a teacher's job the next year, because I hustled and found my reason why. So now I volunteer once a week at the kids' school. I take them to school. I pick them up from school. I pay for their softball, their baseball, their basketball, their dance, and their ninja class. I took them to Disney. I did that. And I stay home because of my struggles now turned into an opportunity that this girl notes out of gym class should not. You would never think. Never. So, okay, sorry. That's my jam.
No, that's amazing. So if you guys aren't catching on here, these are totally different stories, right? Like, we've already heard 3 completely different viewpoints and stories of how people got started. Real quick, to save on time, I'm just going to go through mine real quickly. So before Beachbody, I was a health and wellness director. I have my master's in exercise physiology, so I do have a fitness background. So for everyone who's a personal trainer, who does CrossFit, who thinks that, you know, this isn't for them because it's not the gym, they're totally wrong, because that was my life. I was in the gym. I worked in a gym. I trained people how to work in gyms, right? That's what I did. Then I had a baby, right? And I have 3 kids now, but you better believe that one kid kind of flipped my world upside down, and I didn't know what to do with one kid, right? Now, give me one kid and I'll take one kid any day. But back then it was, I have a kid. I don't want to drive to the gym. I don't want to put the baby in the daycare. I needed something to do. So I saw a girlfriend who had twins and lost baby weight. From that, using a program, I decided to sign up. I didn't tell my husband. I just bought it. Not sure if that's the best recommendation, but it has turned out to be the best one for me, okay? So I, without asking, I bought it, did it, lost the baby weight, so I felt good about myself again. And then also, you know, and here I am, someone who like knows what to do. Like, I didn't need a workout to tell me what to do. I knew what to do to lose weight. I just needed a little bit of oomph at home, right? And then we decided not to go back to my job. And at that point, decided to dive into the Beachbody coaching side of things, right? Now, fast forward 5 years later, in the same position as all these other ladies that you've heard, the trajectory of our life has been completely turned around. My kids go to private school. We're building our dream home right now. I have my dream car. I know it all sounds money related and very materialistic, but it's an okay thing to want to have nice things and to want to put the work in behind getting those nice things, right? There's nothing to be ashamed of, and there's nothing selfish about that. And before, trust me, people made me feel bad about money and about making money. And I always knew I didn't want to take advice from someone who wasn't doing better than me, right? So keep that in mind as we move forward. And so now let's dive into this, right? What we're going to do here is we're going to talk about a lot of objections that we always hear from people, right? And we're going to squash those, and we're going to go from different viewpoints here and just hear what people have to say. So I'll tell you right now, one of the number one fears coming out of this is, gosh, just fear in general. Let's not even do the number one fear. Let's just say everyone doesn't start coaching because they're afraid of something. So real quickly, I want to know, Daryl, what was your number one fear before coming into this?
My biggest fear is I was 3 months pregnant when I started. So I was thinking, who is going to want to, how am I going to help and coach anyone when I'm pregnant myself? I had no fitness background like Katie. Hi. I had no fitness background like Katie. I was pretty much like Mandy. I was like, what is a burpee? I was 3 months pregnant with my first child, and the second one wasn't here. And I was thinking, who is going to want to take advice from me? I was seriously under the misconception that I had to have a perfect beach body. That's what I believed. And it held me back for so long, because now what I realize is that we're all at different places in our journey. And that's what makes it so special, is that women who were pregnant could relate to me going through my journey. They were inspired by seeing a pregnant woman show up for herself, take care of herself, do the workouts, fuel her body with nutritious whole foods. Because before that, I didn't know any of those things. I didn't know how to take care of my body. I didn't know what clean eating. I didn't know how to grocery shop and make a meal plan. Before Beachbody, I knew none of that. So I was felt empowered as a woman and as a soon-to-be mom to learn how to take care of myself and my family with health and wellness. And now I realize how powerful my story was then and how it is now. Pregnancies. And being able to show women, no matter what stage of their life or their journey that they're in, that they can be successful with this, because we have a plethora of tools.
Mic drop, man, right? Real quick, I'm gonna jump over to Whitney. Whitney, what about when people tell you, what if I fail? What if I'm not good at this? What if I fail? What do you do?
Yeah, well, I said in the beginning, that was a huge fear of mine. And I was just like, what if I can't do this? And the biggest thing I would say, and I mentioned it earlier, is the biggest thing for me, and kind of like what Dara said, if anything, well, number one, you can't fail if you do the things that we encourage you to do. So that's plain and simple. If you put in the time and do the things that we train our teams to do, you can't fail. But the biggest thing when it comes down to it is like, if anything, you are going to get healthy and fit yourself. And I had to go into it with that mindset. And once I did, it like took off so much pressure. Then I wasn't like overthinking things. I'm like, I'm just going to do this for me and my family. And then I'm going to share my story and see what happens. So I'm like, in the long run, if you were to look back 5 years from now and be like, what did coaching do for me? Hopefully we can say I'm in the best shape of my life and in the healthiest of my life. And my kids know how to eat well. And my husband knows how to eat well. And that kind of thing. So for me, that was probably just the biggest fear buster.
Boom. You know what? I'm going to add on to that. So when people ask me, like, what if I fail, right? Like, what if I can't do this? I know when I started, I wasn't as confident as I was now. The person I am today is not the person I was 5 years ago. And that all comes down to what we would call personal development. It's something that we pour into as a network, as just coaches, as a community, something that you don't even realize that you need. And I know people like turn their nose up to personal development sometime because they're like, I don't need that. I'm good. I don't need to read a book. Like, I'm all right. But it's really our mindset and what we tell ourselves every single day, right? If you're going to tell yourself you're going to fail, girlfriend, you probably are, right? But if you're going to tell yourself that you're going to do amazing, that you're going to succeed, that you're going to bring an extra income into your family, that you're going to do X, Y, Z, then boom, you better believe you're going to do that because that's the story you're going to be telling yourself. So there's this huge mindset work that we do in the company as well. And like for women, people who are judged all the time, that's huge. So right going from that, Mandy, I'm going to ask you because I know we get this all the time. For someone who wants to sign up, but they're like, I'm too scared to post on social media. I don't really want to do it. What do you say to that, right?
Oh my gosh, this was like a huge, huge fear to me, and something that I would send my coach my post and be like, for real, should I post this? Are you kidding me? And I would get so nervous about it. And then I took a new perspective and thought, if I post something, a vulnerable moment or a sweaty selfie or an encouraging word, and that helped one person, what if it helped one person, one mama feel better in their skin? Wouldn't it be worth it? And then I thought, if me sharing my struggles and my journey kept me home and kept me to my goals with my family, is that worth it? Is it worth drinking a shake every day, doing a workout, sharing my journey, and then that keeps me living a life that I want to live? Is that worth it? Hell yeah, it's worth it. Like, I'm over here, I fought to live the life that I'm living, and I love it so much. And you can ask me any day, is it worth getting over a fear to help one person? Yes. Is it worth getting over a fear to help your family, to provide for your family? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, you know those haters aren't going to pay your bills, right? No. So you post, right? You're going to post, you're going to show your story.
Right? Or a cruise. I'm taking the kids on a cruise next month, all because of this. So no, they'll be at home.
Can I just piggyback off that for 1 minute? Is that this is not like a cookie cutter approach. You get to post in a way that's authentic to you. Katie, Mandy, Whitney, and I, you've heard the 4 different stories. We are very different in personality. What Katie posts is different than what I post, but we're all so successful because we are being uniquely ourselves. We are being authentic. We are being vulnerable with our struggles. And we didn't start there, but because we have this sisterhood of people who have our back, who are doing the same things that we want to do, who empower us to make better choices, who encourage us and cheer us on, we don't feel held back by some of those things that have held us back before. And so you get to share your journey in a way that's authentic to you. There are no rules to how you do it.
Yeah. Hashtag no rules, no boss except for yourself, right? So you do it how you want. Oh, boss lady over there. Okay, so now let's talk about this, because I know a lot of people are thinking like, oh my gosh, like I work full time or I have 3 kids. First of all, if you have 1, 2, 3, or 4 kids, it's not an excuse in our world over here, even 5, because we have coaches with 5 kids who rock this business. So don't tell me you have kids, because that excuse isn't going to fly up in here with us, okay? But really though, so many people, we think, I don't have time. My plate is already full. I'm already stressed out. I don't have time to add anything extra. What would you guys say to that? Who wants to pop in?
I will, because I built this with a full-time life. I had a full-time job. I was pregnant, and I was basically, once my daughter was here, I was doing that by myself because my husband worked nights, weekends, holidays. So it was me doing this plus my full-time job. But I'll tell you, because I saw this as a way to get out of that life that didn't feel that great, it didn't feel like a second job. I love this. I woke up and I breathed it. I lived it as much as I could because it just lit me up inside. 8 years later, I am still lit up inside doing what I love. So I did it in the pockets. I wanted this to work so badly. I was willing to put in the work. And I would get up early. I would set my alarm early. I got up early and I did my workout, 30-minute workouts, holler, right, from home, no commute, no waking up the baby. I could do it here. And then I would do some work, right? I had my plan laid out for me. I would do some work. I would go to work. I would listen to personal development like Katie talked about. Holler for Audible, right? Personal development on my drives. I was filling my mind with positivity, reminding me what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. All of that really positive stuff that we need to fill ourselves with. I get to work. I would do my work. On my lunch break, I would do more things to build my business. On my commute home, maybe I would do a call. Maybe I'd have a one-on-one with a coach. Maybe I would do a training. All the things that I could be able to do on that drive. I'd come home. I'd spend the time with my daughter. We would do bath and dinner and all the things. And when she went to bed, I would do more Beachbody. I did stuff on the weekends. I did things where I could fit it in because I knew eventually that part-time, I did it very, very part-time. And I'm talking like, maybe an hour a day sometimes. Maybe it was like an hour and a half. I did it part-time until it became a full-time thing. All of that work compounded until it eventually grew to the point where I could leave my full-time job.
Boom, right? So let me tell you, it's all about priorities, right? You prioritize in your life what you think is important, okay? So it's about prioritizing your time and finding your time. That Netflix show can probably wait till tomorrow. It can probably wait till next month. It's probably not that good anyways, right? So instead of watching the show, make your money, right? Help some people. And if you're a good multitasker, you can do both at the same time, okay? So let's not forget that, because Mandy likes Friends. I like some Bravo. Not real sure what Darren Whitney, jive with, but I'm sure they've got their thing, right? So now let's go here. Okay. Let me take this one, because I know I get this from some people. I only work out at the gym. So this whole like working out at home thing, it's not really for me. Like, I really like the gym environment. So how am I going to be able to coach people if I just work out at the gym? Girlfriend, you have a whole market. You have all the people who go to the gym as your market of people. So that's almost an advantage if you work out at the gym, right? So let's talk about if you work out at the gym. You can take your Beachbody on demand there. You can rock out your workouts there. I know I have a coach who likes working out at the gym all the time. Her name's Kira. She's actually on the call. Kira, wave your hand. She's always at the gym doing her workouts because that's her environment. That's what she likes, right? And that's cool. And that's where you can connect with different people who are there. Because let's be honest, a lot of people at the gym don't know what they're doing, right? They go to the gym. Whitney just raised her hand. She went, but she didn't know what she was doing. A lot of people go to the gym and walk on the treadmill for an hour, and then they wonder why they haven't lost any weight after a year of walking on the treadmill. There's Mandy. We got her, right? So it doesn't matter. It's not about just going to the gym. It's about giving people a plan of action to succeed. So you're giving them a plan to help them succeed, and they can still go to the gym and enjoy that environment and that community there at the gym while doing their workouts. Plus, in terms of nutrition, that's a whole other side of things, right? You don't go to the gym to get any nutrition help. And let's be honest, right? You can work out all you want and eat like shit and not get any results. So if you're not doing anything in the kitchen at home, you're not going to find results that you want. And people are still going to be struggling. They're still going to be upset and frustrated with where they're at, right? Hence, that's where you come in again. And you can just share what's working for you. Listen, I drink my awesome Shakeology because it's giving me my nutrients. I've got a meal plan. I've got these containers. And my mindset is right around food. So you have all these tools to provide somebody to help them in their journey while still going to the gym, right? So anytime, someone is coming to me like, listen, I want to work out at the gym. I'm good. And be like, that's cool. Take me with you. Take your Beachbody with you, right? So that's that for all you gym people. And plus, let's face it, being a personal trainer, that gives an added advantage because even though you don't need a fitness background for this, because Whitney, Mandy, and Dara do not have a fitness background at all and are very successful in the business. You don't need a fitness background. If you have a fitness background, what a great asset for you, right? That's a great advantage for you to be able just to communicate a little bit more of the science behind, the weight loss and the workouts and the different structures of the routines and the nutrition. I mean, that's huge. Along with if you are a nutritionist or a registered dietitian, another advantage on doing the Beachbody as well, because you have that higher level of knowledge. Okay. So boom. Let me ask you guys this. So everyone, I want an answer from everyone. What is the vital behavior that you do every day to help build your business? What is the one most important vital behavior for you? So we'll go on that. And Whitney, you start.
Yeah, I invite people to join me. That's the biggest thing. Like, even if I don't actually post to social media that day, it does not mean that I am not talking to people behind the scenes. Because like I shared before, my passion in the beginning was like, I want people to feel the way that I feel. And I know that just because I post a sweaty selfie does not mean that people are going to understand how this is changing my life. So I shoot people messages and I ask them if they want to be a part of my fit groups with me, and I share my story with people.
I dig it. Mandy, what do you do every day that you feel is the most important?
Honestly, I drink my shake and I do my workout and I eat to my plan, because this gives me so much confidence. And I fell off my plan a little bit here, and I've been kicking butt the last 4 weeks. And the feeling that I have is so much more confidence. And I know that I can help other mamas who are struggling feel so much better. So when I take care of myself, I'm a better wife. I'm a better cheerleader. I feel better in my own skin. And so doing the programs, because they work so well. I mean, if you go look at my page, you will see my picture. I have just transformed the last 4 weeks. And so me working on me makes my life and my business all succeed, because this isn't selling. This is just sharing what's working for you.
Beautiful. Dara, what is yours?
Well, we have 4 vital behaviors, and I would say I do all of them consistently. I mean, I've been here for 8 years, and that means that I treated this like a business. I treated this like a 4-year college degree, like I did at my other job, right? I know how to work hard. I know how to show up and do the plan, follow the plan, right? So I did that in school, following a syllabus. I did that when I worked for someone else. I had job duties, right? My job description. Same with this. We give you exactly what you need to do to be successful. And I followed that, and I'm still following it. I mean, to think about a job, starting your own business and being here almost a decade later, considering job stability and how things are not that stable in the economy anymore, at least for the people that graduated with me, the people I worked with, I graduated with, they've been through 3, 4, 5 jobs. And I'm still here with Beachbody. And it was because of the consistency and just doing the things that are given to us, doing it consistently.
Boom. Consistency is key. I'll say mine is the personal development, right? Because again, I wouldn't be where I am today without growing as a person. So if I didn't grow, if I chose to stay the same, I mean, my life would be the same, right? So I chose to grow. I chose to move into a different direction. So that would be mine. All right. So, I mean, let's be serious. If you're interested in coaching, I'm sure you're interested because there's some financial, I don't know, stars about this, right? Like you want some income here. So real quick, what are some examples of financial freedom that Beachbody has provided for you and your family? Just real quick, rattle off a couple. Go ahead, Mandy.
Mine was not going back to work. That was huge. And also, my goal was to bring 5-year-olds to Disney, and that wouldn't have happened. Like, that was so huge to me to be able to plan that trip and bring them there, and then paying for all their classes. I don't know if you guys, I mean, we just spent $200 on softball, $200 on baseball, $100 each month for each of their other sports. And that was just something at the beginning that I was able to do very quickly, is take care of that kind of stuff for my family.
You know, it's funny, when I got my job after I graduated, there was a salary attached to that, right? And so I know it's always so weird for us to talk about money, but why? I mean, if you're treating this like a job, like when you start a job, you want to know what the salary is or the pay is. And the same for this. Like, I think it's good to know the potential that it rises and falls on you. You get to decide what that is. But I mean, what have we been able to do with this business? I mean, before we quit our jobs, we paid off all of our credit card debt, which was around $70,000 plus our student loans. Then we were able to cut my husband's hours back because I had replaced that income after we paid off the debt. And then we replaced both of our full-time incomes. Our kids go to private schools like Katie. So we pay for that every month, and being able to give back. So obviously we've been able to accomplish a lot of things, pay cash for trips, pay off all the debt, but give back and give our time, give back to causes that are near and dear to our heart. And I think, to me, that freedom, that sense of freedom is what we really wanted. We hadn't been able to do that before Beachbody.
What about you, Whitney?
Yeah, I mentioned it already, but in the beginning, I was working part-time in an office and having to leave my kids. And so in the beginning it was, save a little money for vacations and things like that. And then it allowed me to leave my part-time job, and now it replaces that full-time income. But for us, we got pregnant with our 4th baby, and we were in a smaller home, and we were able to buy that size house that we never imagined we could, because I was providing for our family without having to put our kids in daycare. So it was like this double win of finances coming in, because we weren't putting, 3 kids in daycare. So it was awesome. And then, like Dara said, I'll just piggyback. Like, we have a heart to give, and we have a heart to serve. And we have always wanted, not more money to have more money, but we always wanted to come about it with that heart for others. And so the things that we've given to our church and to the kids that we support, over in Bolivia and things like that is so huge for me, to be able to say yes to those things. When a kid's picture pops up, and for me to say yes, like, I can actually help send that $39.95 every month. And so those kind of things are just no-brainers for us.
Yeah, so let me piggyback off of Whitney. For me, it's just being what I would call a yes mom, right? And being able to say yes to things, that we can do things like, Mom, I want to do swimming. Okay, we can go do swimming, right? Like, we can do swim classes. We can do ninja classes. We can go to this school. We can go on this vacation. You want to go to the water park this weekend? Sure. Like, it's not about, we don't have to save anymore. We used to have to save to go to the water park for the weekend. We used to have to save to go, you want to do swim class, we have to save. Like, we can't just get up and go pay, and now we can just go pay. We took the kids to Disney last year. We took not only our kids, my husband has, his 2 kids. So I have 2 stepsons. So that's 7 people. We took my mother-in-law, my parents went. Took a lot of people, okay? So, and we paid for a big ass room and suite, whatever. And we had the magical Disney vacation. We're building our dream home. Everyone's dream home is different. We are not building $1 million home, but we're building a $500,000 home. And that's something that we never thought we could do. And that is financially from Beachbody. I joke with my husband, I'm like, this is the house that Beachbody built, because without Beachbody, we would not be there, right? So that's that. I mean, again, I think for all of us, the income is nice because it is our job. This is not, we don't just do it for fun. It is fun. That's why we continue to do it, right? And we do get to help people, and we get to help people do the same and do the same thing and find the same successes. That's why we're here. And that's why you've seen the longevity with all of us. Two more things, but we're going to end on some happy notes. Okay. So again, real quick, because I always say real quick, but we go off on these tangents, but I want to end in 5 minutes. So favorite memory as a coach, Dara.
Meeting everyone, I think, for the first time, like face to face. We have these virtual relationships, which are so powerful, because being a working mom, and I'm going to go on a tangent, here I go, but this is what happens when you get a bunch of passionate women together. But working full time, I had no opportunity to meet women. I went to work and I came home and I took care of my family. There was no time for me to be social, to make new friends. Like, it just wasn't there. And this was a way for me to find friends, to find a community. And so probably one of the best things is being able to meet everyone that we've lived these day-to-day with, and meet them. And it's always on these fun trips. And so we on Beachbody's dime most of the time, where they get to spoil us, and we get to have fun and bring our families together, and our families get to meet and create those bonds with even like our husbands, and our kids get to come. Like, we're getting ready to go on a cruise and everyone's bringing their kids, and that part is really special.
I'm not bringing my kids. Okay, that's because they're really young and I want to relax. So that's a whole other topic. For me, I was actually going to say that our very first retreat, but since Dara kind of touched on that togetherness, I would say another like top favorite memory of mine is the very first time someone messaged me saying, "Oh my gosh, Whitney, I just dropped 5 pounds and my belt loop is one, notch smaller." And I can remember like crying because I was so proud of them for working so hard. And then I also just loved that I got to be a part of that. And we get those messages all the time. Like, even yesterday, I had a picture, or a friend sending a picture of her in a bridesmaid's dress that didn't fit a month ago. And it was like those moments that just give you the chills. And you're just like, I played a part in someone's life. And until that happens, you're probably like, I don't really get it. But those are just the best coach moments.
Mandy, you're up.
Okay, so I could tell you like a bazillion and trips and all of those kind of good things. But one thing I got to be so proud of myself. Like, and I think that is an incredible coach moment, to like run down with tears of joy to my husband and be like, I did it. I hit a huge goal. I made more salary than I would as a teacher. Like, I did this. This little girl who was always overweight, was able to accomplish such a huge goal, and have him be so proud of me. That's a fun one.
I love it. I'll tell you guys my favorite memory. It's funny because I think about this all the time, but I look back in my last 5 years and all of my memories are with these people that you see, right? So being a mom, I think you lose a part of your identity a little bit. At least I did, because now you're just a mom, especially if you don't work outside of the home. You're stuck home, you're with kids all day. You don't have other friends, adult friends, unless you're having kids at the same time as like your besties and whatever. I didn't have that, right? We didn't have other parents in the neighborhood. So the trips and the community and making friends, like no matter what, me and the 3 other girls up here, we will be lifelong friends. We talk to each other every day. We talk about life. We don't just talk about Beachbody. We talk about life. We go to each other for help with our problems. I mean, that's my favorite memory is these are my best friends, right? Whether I'm their best friend is a totally different story, but they're mine. So that's what I would say. Okay, so real quick, advice for someone who is thinking about becoming a coach, because that's why you're all here. Me, I'm going to go first with this, and then we're going to end this off real quick. My advice for you is to just do it. You are going to spend way too much time thinking about it and letting fear get in the way, and then you're going to always be wondering what if, and that what if is going to keep on getting in the way if you just don't get to it and start. So that's my biggest regret, is not knowing. Not that I didn't start early enough, because I pretty much started right away, but not knowing about Beachbody. I tell my husband all the time, I wish I would have known before I got pregnant so I could, XYZ, but I didn't know about it. So just start.
See, I'm on the flip side of Katie. I waited an entire year. And if you think about what we've been able to accomplish, I pushed back all of that a year. Retiring myself from my job, being there with my daughter, having someone else raise her in daycare. I pushed all of that back a year because of all the fears that I had inside that were really because I wasn't informed and I was really just wrong. I mean, all of the fears that we've pretty much busted here, we all share. So I'm not saying like you're crazy for having them. I'm saying like everything you want is just right outside of that fear. Everything that you want is going to take a little bit of a different you to live a different life. And it's absolutely worth it. I mean, worst case scenario, you try this and you get in the best shape of your life. Seriously, like that's the worst that can happen. Best case scenario, people see what you're doing. You evolve and grow into this beautiful person because of the personal development. Not that you're not already beautiful, but right? Like all the growth that happens with you because of the personal development, because of the workouts, and you inspire and you help change other people's lives, and you get to build a life that you love, that feels good on the inside and outside. So if it's not for you, you can cancel. I mean, there's nothing holding you to it. I mean, so you really have nothing to lose.
I would say rip the Band-Aid, jump in. I don't even know what I'm doing still, but I figured it out and I'm having a blast on the way. So rip the Band-Aid, just do it, because really there's nothing to lose. There's nothing to lose. It's the cost of breakfast. You all have to eat anyway. Like, so jump on.
And just to add, I would say, what are your gifts? And for me, I remember sitting down and writing them down, like, what are my unique gifts and what makes me unique and me special? And think about, not for weeks, tonight, like write those things down and think about, like, how can I use these specific gifts, like who I'm designed to be, the type of personality I have, how can I use these gifts and use health and fitness coaching as a platform to like change people's lives? And when you think about that, there's no way that you can be like, oh no, I shouldn't do it, because it doesn't matter what your gifts are. And we just talked about that for the last 45 minutes. It doesn't matter if you're outgoing or introverted. It doesn't matter if you know everything about fitness or you don't. Like, you get to take, I always tell my team, like, what makes you uniquely you, and then how can you be uniquely better? And if you're just being you, people who know you, people who follow you, they are going to be so crazy excited that you are all of a sudden crazy passionate about something that they won't be able to hold back to join you. And so that's what I would say, like, yes, just do it. Like, write down who you are and then let those gifts flourish in this business.
I love it. So if you guys aren't ready to sign up now, sit back, take a quick little breather, get your mind right, and then let's sign up, okay? And then decide that it's time to sign up, because there's no more sitting back and thinking about it, okay? But really, in all honesty, at this point, you know what Beachbody is all about. I'm sure you've seen the videos from your coaches on what Beachbody is all about. This is to debunk your myths and just get you a little bit more confident about that decision. If you do have more questions, contact your coach, send them a quick message. If you do have a question right now, if you're on live, feel free to type it in the chat or unmute yourself. I'm giving you 1 minute while we close out. But if you do have a question, let us know. And again, reach out to your coach and they can help you to get signed up and to join our team. Anything else from anyone else to end it? No? Beautiful. Okay. So thank you guys all for hopping on, and we will see you in the team page.